see if Genesis can continue their hot streak. Let's go ahead and get into the game. It's Deception versus Genesis, with the commentary is going to be Wavepunk and Lawler. Take it away, guys.
Thanks so much, Axel Toss. You saw Leaf trying to get away with not giving a prediction. I appreciate you hunting him down there. And Lawler, how does it feel to know we only have 9 games left in the day?
I actually have to agree with Leaf on this one. I think this one's going to be a lot closer. Bell showing that it's not as much as an issue as we thought, or as I thought I should say. I foresee Genesis exploiting that, though. I feel the pressure with those players is going to be a lot for this team to handle.
Sure.
They're going to definitely capitalize on the mistakes that we saw coming out of them. But at the same time, we saw what Vince can do. So 3-0, someone's going to, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it'll be another 3-0. Maybe I'll actually get out in time to watch the end of the TCU game. Either way, I'm excited to see how today's going to go. Will Genesis be able to break the spell here? Will we get a Game 5 here? Or will we just have a day of rapid-pace Rocket League? We'll find out here. We got Genesis in the orange, Deception in the blue. And Espeon will win that kickoff outright. It's Vince who ends up with ball control after Corrupted G got the bump on the Espeon. A nice play by Vince, juking out Classics. Pluto tries to play it around the wall, but Corrupted G will play it back into his own half as Classics watches this one. Misses again, Espeon. They get it past all 3 players. It's going to just break away straight into the goal. Vince puts the first point on the board.
What?
So you miss 1, and then miss 2, and then it's in.
So I thought the mistakes were going to come on the other side for Deception, but I guess Genesis wants to make me eat my words this time, and they're going to make back-to-back mistakes. So good capitalization, easy shot for Vince, wide open net yet again.
That cheat up there on that kickoff, that was actually the first time Classics has touched the ball. Despite trying a few times, it's going to drop into the box. He has an opportunity to score, but Vince will block it, and Bell be able to get it past Pluto. Now Corrupted and Vince will move up together into the corner. Spreading out as Vince gets the setup. Corrupted goes in for the shot, but misses. No one was up for contention. He had an easy goal there, but missed that one. Bell keeps the pressure on. Classics will get the save. Leaves Pluto alone in the back. He'll be moving up, passing it upfield to Espeon. Puts it around the corner. Nice setup. Pluto came in for the shot, but misses as well.
Both teams just missing shy on that last hit. Corrupted had one, came back in. And the pressure back inside, but big clears are something Genesis does very, very well.
Pluto sets that one high in the air. Espeon looking to pass it out. Touches very light, and that'll leave it with Vince and Corrupted up on the backboard. Pluto sends it into the corner as Espeon gets set up in net. Now Espeon with the clear. Vince popping it back down in a nice place. A nice shot coming through from Bell. It's light. It goes just off the crossbar, and Venice will finish. That's funny now. It's Vince.
I don't even know how to pull that up. Yeah, ball coming off the crossbar, dropping down for Vince. But Vince had a couple plays leading up to that were really smart. Like, he chipped it into the inside, and he's like, there is no way I'm scoring on this. And rather than going for kind of a 50-50 that's just going to draw him outside, he waits back outside, the ball gets cleared to him, and then he puts it back in again. So really smart play by Vince, recognizing what's going on.
Classics looking to pick this one up from Corrupted G. Carried out into the middle, got it past Vince. 50-50 with Bell. Will send it on to the backboard. Wrap around the corner. Now Espeon keeps this pressure on, looking just to set it up and drop it into the box. Vince sends it to the side. Now Bell and Corrupted G move up together. Corrupted G watching to play this one off the wall. Bell is in the air to try and push it in, but it is Espeon who will be able to carry it away and up to midfield, looking for the pass. Dunked on by Vince. He just tackles it outright. So Jim will drop this one near the backboard. It's not quite in the place where it's going to be able to cross the goal, but it's still deep in Genesis territory as Bell ends up in the Genesis goal and leaves it with Pluto and Classics to move it up the field. Now Corrupted playing it straight down the middle. Espeon pops it to the side, lets Pluto rotate in behind him. Espeon stays in goal. They put it up to Classics, who pops it out to the middle. Now Espeon with an opportunity. This could be good. They only have 1 back on defense, but Classics misses the touch to pass it back to Espeon. That'll leave it with Corrupted up on the wall. Gets demoed by Classics, but not before he's able to set it up for Bell.
All Classics was trying to do on that is take a shot inside, but the way that his car was positioned, he was trying to jump sideways twice with his nose pointing at the goal, would have just hit it sideways inside. But because he turned a little bit more at the end, he actually ended up just doing a backflip.
Pluto sets that one high on the wall. Classics is up for this one to possibly finish. He drops it down towards Espeon, but Espeon didn't see something he could work with, so he puts it over to the side. Now Pluto over to Classics. Team plays coming through from Genesis, but interrupted by Deception. It is Pluto who pops this one high. Vince looking to wrap this one around the wall, keep it high as Espeon contests down to Corrupted, who can't quite send the shot on the net. Nobody was home on defense. Had an opportunity, but he'll drop it back to Bell. 1:45 left to go. Deception still up by 2. Genesis looking to get on the board.
Oh, good flick coming out, just not enough. And then the follow-up, you look how well Deception is willing to crash on this. As soon as one shot comes in, both players move in, but a big clear, something we see and mentioned out of Genesis earlier. Pluto's going to get the goal.
Amazing stuff here. They play this one off the backboard immediately with the counterplay. Pluto be able to get just exactly the right touch to send it over the top of 2 defenders. Get a point on the board here for Genesis. They still got a hope. 1:30 left to go. They're only down by 1. We'll see Pluto going here on kickoff. Very neutral. The cheat up from Espeon will pay off as they're able to put it into the blue corner. Corrupted G looking for this one as Classics goes into challenge. Corrupted gets it over the top. Pluto puts it high. Vince on the wall will drop it to Corrupted. Over to Espeon. Keeps this one at midfield. Ball spending a lot of time up here near this midfield boost. There's 3 players from Genesis very stacked up. Bell will be able to push that one into the corner as they spread back out. And Classics tries to win the 50-50, but Espeon there with a hard clear puts it into the blue.
Really well played by Bell. He recognized and it was totally telegraphed. Sitting up, waiting on that wall, just expecting a clear and puts it right back down. Good job by them trying to stop any clears coming out, no matter how creative Genesis is trying to get.
Wrapping it around the corner. Genesis just trying to create a shot opportunity to get that ball into the box, into a place where another player can finish it off. Espeon going to play the round 2 players, tie up the game, 38 seconds left.
Gibbs mentioned confidence and how important Classics was to allow his players to do what they do. Espeon mentioned he feels good. He's getting a lot of good feedback from the community, and when he plays confident, he has 0 regards for any like mental game issues. He plays out of his mind. It's showing that confidence in that goal.
Keeping that ball glued to the ground as the goalie moves up. The other player was coming in right beside him. Fantastic placement, giving us a tie game with 30 seconds remaining. Anyone can take this as it drops near the box. Corrupted G will actually send that one out and into the orange. Pluto moving up from the backfield now, has ball control in blue corner. Bell will try to clear this one as Vince rotates. Pluto watching this one in the air. Classics trying to push it through, but could not get the touch. It's back at midfield, and Espeon puts it over to the side. Corrupted G takes a shot towards the net, cleared by Pluto. Espeon into the far corner. They could get a buzzer beater here if Classics can get that one around. Pluto has the opportunity to keep this one alive. He puts it back onto the backboard. Vince puts it back into the corner, just trying to push it away from his goal. Espeon keeping it alive. Not going to happen. Overtime. First game of overtime, I believe, for week 2.
Yeah, about time. Like, so many 3-0s, and we see it. We mentioned on the desk a little bit with Leaf how he said that this game was going to be much closer, and you can see Genesis doing a good job battling back. Pressure on both sides coming through. Now it's just a matter of who can capitalize on a mistake.
Classics sending a shot towards the net. Blocked away by Bell, but Genesis keeping the pressure on as Vince tries to wrap it around the corner. There's Classics from the backfield, keeping this long-range pressure with wide rotations. Pluto trying to play this one, watching what Corrupted G does with it. He's going to let fall back and let Espeon move up and then immediately turn. Pluto recognizing the offensive opportunity that was opening up. Classic sends this one onto the backboard, bounces to the far side, gets a demo onto Vince. If Pluto could have touched that one, they would have had an easy opportunity onto the goal as nobody was home after that demo. But Espeon now still just trying to create this offense.
Good job by Corrupted G getting in front of it, but that's in a dangerous position. Corrupted with another crucial save.
Vince able to put it away from his own goal. Keep us alive here as we approach first minute of overtime. Now Corrupted G pushing it around. Pluto up to Espeon. He'll play down to the middle, but misses the touch, and that leaves it for Bell on the side. He's able to continue. Great pressure. Pluto and Vince both up for this one. Pluto moving backwards was able to send the ball downfield. Very impressive mechanical play. It leaves it with Classics and Espeon in the corner. Espeon will bump Classics to the far side of the field. Now it's Vince versus Pluto. He and Bell going to go for a pinch and put that one high. Didn't get much speed onto it, so Pluto will be able to clear it. Put it into the corner. It's Corrupted G wrapping this one around. Classics watches. Vince is able to get it past. It's Pluto in the corner. Vince going to bully Espeon in net. Bell tried to drop it through, but Espeon, after being interfered with, is still able to get the clear, get himself a savior medal.
You can really see the game plan of Genesis coming into play. Even though Espeon had a better touch and Classics was sweeping around, he still let Classics go for it simply because he knows Classics needs to be the one that can aggress it. As soon as that's done, you're going to see Espeon and Pluto follow up. So I'm glad to see they're sticking to their guns and with the play style in mind.
A series of demos coming out from Deception as they get up nitty-gritty in the face of Genesis. Vince tries to push that one through. Espeon reads him and is able to send it to the far side. Now Classics and Espeon moving up together as Pluto hangs back in net. Espeon will rotate, let Pluto move up. Puts it into the corner, bounces off the side, almost has the opportunity to push it through himself, but Espeon keeps this one in an aggressive position. Pluto back passes to Classics, who takes a shot. Can Corrupted get there? He does! The save coming through, keeping us alive as we're halfway into our second game here in game number 1.
Even though that shot wasn't in the net, it was still crucial to get it off that ball and buy them some time. They're fighting on their back heel right now. They need boost. As you can tell how slowly and how reactionary they're playing to this aggression coming up from Genesis.
Yeah, but Deception holding on tooth and nail, able to keep everything out of the net. We're still tied up. First goal will win as 3 minutes approaches here. Espeon in the air, but Corrupted G will get there first. Drop it over to Bell. Puts it in the corner. Classics rotates into net. Goes up, able to clear it straight down the middle, and Pluto follows along, getting another shot towards the net, cleared by Bell. They scored once before on that sort of play, but nobody was back on defense the first time. Bell gets it past too. Nobody's at home. Can Corrupted G drop it in? A nice touch from Classics will interrupt the shot, but Vince continues. Espeon able to clear it. It's Classics who will get the final touch and put it out to midfield. And now the counterplay from Genesis. Can they finish it? No. Corrupted G sends it to the side. Back and forth. These teams are playing aggressive.
Yeah, Corrupted G doing a good job. All three went in for that to give them an opportunity of a goal, but then immediately Corrupted falls back just in case. With the pressure now on, Deception has a chance.
What a pinch there by Pluto. Able to send it off of Vincent downfield. Nobody home. Can Espeon redirect it into the net? He puts it high on the crossbar, but Bell reads it and sends it to the side. He and Corrupted G now moving up as they cross midfield. Pluto able to get it away from Bell. Send it over to Espeon. This passing from Genesis has been so strong all series long, and Pluto and Espeon have a great opportunity, but it's cleared again by Corrupted. 4 minutes into overtime. These teams are so even right now.
All three moving up as a group, just not able to maintain it as it gets pushed right back in. And you see how well these teams are matched, both playing with everything they have. 4 minutes and 18 seconds into overtime, and then we're only in game number 1.
I said they're trying to make up for all the 3-0s we already had, make this the longest series in RLCS history. Corrupted G dropping that one towards the net, just barely off the post. Can Pluto get the contention? He does. He keeps Vince from sending it in. And now they're back out in midfield. Both teams dodging bullets just left and right, barely keeping themselves alive in this game. And with this much time into the overtime, you know, both teams, it's going to be a hard one morally on them, or just on their morale, as a nice shot comes through for Pluto. Because when you get this much time invested into one game, it's just such a bummer when you finally lose. But one team is going to be able to finally be paid off here as we approach 5 minutes. It's 40, 57, 58, 59, and we have 2 games for the price of 1, folks.
Yeah, and the reason why it's so demoralizing is simply because of the fact after all this time goes through, you had nothing to lose, right? Like, everything's kind of come down to one moment, and it usually ends up being just one mistake, just something, just one minor thing.
Both teams holding on with impeccable defense. Who will be the first to crack? As Corrupted G sends that one up to Bell, but Pluto gets there first. Seen Genesis with lots of ball control here in the past few minutes. Espeon keeping that one in the corner. Looking to play this one slowly. Maybe slow down the pace a bit more. See if that can change up this Deception squad. As Pluto hangs back, he will move up. Seeing Espeon look. Espeon is lurking at midfield, watching for the setup from Pluto. Here he comes in, but he's not able to find the shot off of the touch from Corrupted. We'll be able to transition this one up on offense. Gets it past Classics, plays it patient, puts it towards the box, and Pluto puts it up. Can Classics get the redirect? Carries it over the top and drops it in. 5 minutes, 58 seconds into overtime. Genesis takes game 1.
What a beautiful 1-2 counterplay from Pluto. Pluto playing that super far downfield, and then Classics flying upside down, getting underneath, using the bottom side of his car for a soft touch just to barely beat that last defender and make them win in that overtime.
It's fascinating that one of the goals from Genesis was the exact same play, but it was Classics passing to Pluto at midfield, who popped it high over the top of the defender. An amazing play that they were able to use that play twice to score here on Deception and take the lead after an almost 11-minute game. What a crazy beginning to this series! But it's got a stink there for Deception, knowing that now Genesis is going to win the next 2 games, and it's just going to be over.
Just
right?
give up now, right?
This was right.
No, 13 to 12 shots though. 13 to 12 shots, and Genesis with the 13th. Their last one being that goal. So still lots of back and forth, a lot of aggression from both teams. Defense though was no joke either. You saw a lot of plays. Corruption came in clutch. Corrupted.
Corrupted G.
Yeah, not Corruption G.
Corruption, who plays for Decepted or something like that. Very, very similar shots. 3 goals on the side of Genesis, 2 goals on the side of Deception. All of these goals were assisted. No solo goals on any side. Big difference, though, being the difference of the saves of 9 coming through for Genesis to only 5 from Deception. A bit more accuracy, maybe, on the side of Deception, but completely countered by flawless defense from Genesis.
Yeah, both teams do a very good job. We mentioned how big clears are such a huge difference. And when they all crash that box, there's so many people up top. If nobody's able there to get back, all you have to do is beat one, and that's how they clutched it in 2 of those goals. So able to take advantage and recognize what they had to do. A big clear, 1 touch, and they're good to go.
Man, what a game 1. Genesis and Deception have given us game 2. Set to pick up right where it left off. We'll see if Deception is able to respond here in game number 2 and give us maybe our first game 4 of the day. Or will Genesis continue the trend? As Corrupted G pushes this one up into the corner. Pops out to midfield. Vince trying to set it up for Bell, but it gets interrupted by Espion, and now Classics able to put it up to midfield. He and Espion moving up together. A nice touch by Espion, putting it over the top of 2. Pluto comes up, but goes just a bit high of the ball. Now Espion gonna cut Classics there, take ball control for him. That leaves a very open backfield. Pluto has to rotate around. He gets the clear, and they'll be able to push this one out, dodging that bullet.
Espion playing really, really fast, but needs to be careful. Classics had the ability to make a play on that. Espion should probably rotate up, get himself in a position that allows Classics to make a move, because when he shadows him that closely, it just cuts out 2 people and puts 2 people out of a good position to make a play.
Espion to Classics, trying to drop it into the box. Pluto able to push that one up. Vince's demo, they had a scoring opportunity, but Pluto was not quite able to find a shot that he liked. Corrupted G will be able to carry that one into the orange, immediately countered by Espion back into Deception corner. Bell reads it on the wall. Pluto in to read it. She gets a 50-50, very neutral with Bell, who just fell onto that ball. They're keeping it in this corner right now. Spending a lot of time here as Vince will clear that one off the wall towards the net. Espion in the back will be able to pop it high, send it into Genesis's corner. But now Bell wins the 50-50. Here we're seeing kind of the same amount of play just on the other corner of the field. As Vince takes a nice shot just a bit high. Espion sends it straight up, nearly touching the ceiling. Corrupted keeps this pressure on. We're seeing Deception doing what Genesis was doing in the first minute of the game now as we approach 3:23.
Yeah, that clear by Espion, putting that up very, very high. Just not enough as the pressure of Deception keeps coming in. You see the shot go up. Vince plays it and doesn't actually touch it on the wall. He waits for it, luckily enough, and then plays a soft tap inside to Corrupted. Sometimes you see people where they hit it off that backboard, it gets played out way too far, and he's not going to make that mistake. Very well played by Vince.
Getting first blood here for Deception. With 3:15 left to go, they look to tie up the series. They can just hold on for 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Now they're able to move this one down. Corrupted. Man, now you got me saying Corruption. Corrupted playing that one very, very patiently. They've got a nice shot opportunity, but Pluto saves it away. Espion sitting in goal will be moving out. Classics rotated in behind him. The defensive rotations from Genesis on point. As this ball goes in a dangerous spot, Corrupted in to try and push it through, but it is Espion who will get the save. Put it away. Pluto trying to clear it out of his own half, but Corrupted will have none of it. Winning all the 50-50s right now is Deception, but Convince he's in trouble. He's got 2 players coming in. The bump from Pluto will open up the door for Classics and tie the game.
All of that. Bell actually had a really good idea. Like, Corrupted had that. He went up preemptively trying to get a hit. It would have looked gorgeous. But because nobody was down to help Vince, who's way back, which they did exactly what they needed to do. Sent up 2, Vince stayed back. But when you have 2 people able to run downfield, and you got a bodyguard,
It was a 1v1, which is already in favor of Classics, but when you have Pluto up running as a linebacker, able just to push him off to the side. Great play, going to tie up game number 2 here. Classics looking to drop this one in front of the box again, but will be cleared away by Vince. Over to Bell in the corner. Espion looking to keep the pressure on. As Corrupted G gets it past 2 players. It's Pluto who needs to win this 50-50. He does. He'll be able to push this one up to Classics, who's waiting on offense, looking for an opportunity to score. Can't get it past Vince, but he pushes him over to the side. Might be able to score if Espion moves up from the back. They're winning their 50-50s right now. Genesis starting to play very, very in sync with each other on offense. A nice setup from Classics. Espion will move over to the far corner. They've been sieging up here, able to take shot after shot towards the net. Right now, Deception just looking trapped in their own half, just trying to get away. They're losing all their 50-50s, though.
Yeah, that's because Pluto's insane the way that he plays those. He makes sure, like, even last split-second decisions, like, when he went and jumped on top in that second one, he jumped up and put his nose downwards into the ball, just cutting off all angle and hitting it with the most surface area he possibly could.
Classics winning 50-50s at midfield. We're going to be just barely in the blue as Pluto is already in the air. Doesn't quite get the touch, and Corrupted will be able to clear that one up to Vince. The air passing coming through. Can Bell finish? Oh, that would have been a beautiful play, but completely shut down by Espion. So it goes back out to midfield. Pluto takes a shot from midfield, blocked by Corrupted. Over to Bell and Vince in the corner. Classics looks to play it over the top of the Deception players. And it moves down towards the orange box. Pluto looking for an opportunity. 2 players up there. Bell could put this one through, but Pluto is there to stop it. 1 minute remaining, still tied up. We might have overtime again.
Yeah, with 1 minute left, tied 1-1, anybody's game, and you see the aggression coming out.
There
What
we
a
go.
pass play. 1-2 coming up from Corrupted. Corrupted plays that into the corner so well. Wins that 50-50. Lands, carries the momentum, gets up, and takes a pass before Classics can get to it. And then Vince, spectating that from afar, follows it the whole way, just making sure he's in position.
51 seconds remaining. Deception is in the lead by 1 point. Hold on, tie up the series, break the spell of the broom. As Corrupted G sends that one over to the side. Vince drops it over. Can Bell finish this one, make it a 2-point game? No, Pluto will send it high. Corrupted is up for this as well, but doesn't get much of a touch. He draws Espion into the air. That'll leave it with Classics and Pluto on the offense. They pop it high, but Espion over in the corner has to pick up boost after his long aerial. Is now going to be able to play this one out. No, Bell gets it past him and makes it the 2-point game.
Yeah, a lot of that came down to the pass play. Corrupted was able to, kind of contest Classics after the fact, but Classics played that back inside, and unfortunately for him, he put it at advantage to the Deception team. As soon as that ball went in midfield, as long as it was contested, it was going to work in the favor.
21 seconds remaining, and Genesis needs 2 at this point. Deception looking very well set to tie up the series. Espion trying to dribble it past. It's Pluto who will put it up to Classics. Could be a scoring opportunity, but shut down by Vince as he sends it back into the orange. Pluto over to Espion, carrying it over the top. Is it going to drop in there? Oh, they almost got the consolatory goal at the end of the game, but with that, we have hit 0 seconds, and Deception takes our first complimentary game. We are guaranteed a game 4.
I can't believe it. It actually happened.
It actually happened. They broke the spell. It's over.
Yeah, I mean, and good job coming back. I mean, you saw how much momentum is carried out through today. Even after we saw, Deception, they went down and then came back with those 5 goals. They showed exactly that they're able to do it again, just in a different sense. It wasn't immediate in that first game, but they did show in this game, like, okay, yeah, you guys take that first goal, like, we're good to go. No, we're going to come back. We're going to put a bunch of shots in net. We're going to pressure you guys, like, insane amounts. And then eventually that defensive broke down, and they were able to get a goal.
Yeah, they played very, very well. 8 shots coming out there from Deception. And all of their goals, again, assisted. Deception playing as a team, playing together. And Vince, on the leaderboard there with the most shots, got himself a goal. They all shared a goal. Every player scored, but he got 2 of the saves. That puts him up there and giving him the MVP of game number 2. Game number 3, we've seen Genesis win. We've seen Deception win. How are these teams shaping up in your mind right now?
Well, Genesis is actually looking kind of shaky. Part of that's because they're overlapping really hard.
Sure.
You see Espion coming in when Classics has the ability to make hits. You see some of these passes coming inside. Nobody's there, and if they are, someone on Deception is in the way. Like, it just shouldn't be put there.
Right.
So there's certain times where they're doing stuff like that that's not good. But then on the other side, you see sometimes with Deception, they're just sitting on their back heel. They're waiting for these shots to come in, and that's not okay. They need to go up and contest them earlier and then transition that into that pressure.
Yeah, and we saw Genesis winning quite a few 50-50s, especially in the middle of that game, where they're just like, they're able to win out every single solo play, but just not able to quite put anything together on the offense and score more. Deception is able to really keep them out of their own box, even after massive amounts of ball control come through for Genesis. So with game number 3, it's a 1 game apiece. Anyone can take the series. Pluto looking to send this one at a crazy angle. It goes wide. Bell follows along. It's Vincent Corrupted G able to push out of their own half. Not quite as Espion shuts that one down and pops it out to Pluto, who sends another shot towards the net. Excellent shot placement from Pluto. First blood to Genesis.
Not only does it shut it down once, he shuts it down twice. As soon as that ball gets passed in, he gets again. Espion just so quick at getting up in the air, and because of that pressure, it allows Pluto to come in with full boost and slam that into the net. They're up 27 seconds in.
Very quick response from Genesis. See what Deception has to say about it. Cheat up kickoff going to work out for Classics. Sends that one into the corner. Pluto moving up, rotating well. The offense, oh man, Pluto setting that one up easy for Espion. He's going to drop that one straight into the center. A great play from Genesis.
This is what happens when they spread out. You see how well Pluto comes in and aggresses that. As soon as he sees that, Classics backs off. Espeon's able to then go take a shot, and that's like what we get for a perfect ideal of a rotation. First player comes in, one backs out. Another player comes in, takes a shot. Third player was Classics, who was the first one originally in there, and he was ready to follow that up in case Espeon missed. But who are we talking about? Espeon's not going to miss that shot.
No, amazing play. Top level of Rocket League, you give them a pass like that one, they're not going to miss, especially when he's got the whole goal to shoot at. He can look at where the goalies are, make excellent shot placement. He put it straight in the center, too. Now with 4:04 left to go, there is not a goal to be found right now for Deception.
Or boost for Classics.
Corrupted. He's going to play this one so slow. Just trying to wait it out. And it works out for him as Vince is able to drop that one towards the box, but Pluto on the wall will clear it over to the side. Gets it around Bell. Corrupted G moves up. And it'll be Classics again. Putting it over to the side, a bump from Espeon onto Corrupted G. Doesn't do all that much, and that draws two players into the corner. Bell looking for the shot opportunity, but Pluto clears it away. Very aggressive positioning right now from Genesis. There's no one hanging back. It'll be Espeon who falls all the way back, and we'll see if they are able to score here. Deception still looking for their first point.
Deception pressuring well, but Classics just beating him in a mechanical play on his own. As soon as that 50-50 came up, he saw some coming from underneath him who got a little bit higher, so he changes the position of his car and then boosts down into it to play it underneath the player just to maintain possession. Stuff like that is going to put them in a very good position.
Vince and Corrupted both go up for that one. Pluto has an opportunity here as he shoots towards the net. It'll be Corrupted who puts it high, but Espeon again up to drop this one to try and get a double tap. Doesn't quite finish it, but Classics is there. He's bouncing out. Bell gets it away from the goal. Genesis looked to go up 3-0, but oh my goodness, just couldn't quite make it work. Finally, as Classic sends that one to the corner, Vince saves it away. I was so certain it was in, but it doesn't happen right here around halftime, and Deception is holding on just barely.
I want to talk about how good that play was until Espeon saved it, and then that pinch came out. Like, what is happening?
Oh man, Bell getting the dunk over the top of Pluto. Corrupted sends this one towards the box. We've got a similar play happening on the other end, but not with quite the same level of chaos. Classics now sending it away. Corrupted going to try and push this one through. Pluto does not happen. Bell is in. Here come the rotations from Deception. They put that one out. Vince takes the shot and finds the goal. First point on the board now.
Good pressure and follow up by Corrupted. Corrupted gets that shot initially and follows it up, and then it gets hit with Bell. That placement was phenomenal, using that back wall to pinch it off the wall and then back inside to Vince. And then it's all up to Vince. Vince just has to hit that. Otherwise, Corrupted didn't land the best, and he wasn't able to get back in time.
Seeing the rotations come through for both teams. Able to get points on the board. Corrupted's got a nice shot here at the net. Classics barely getting a nose onto that one to clear it away. Pluto moving up here in between Corrupted G and Vince. Gets it through two, but Corrupted had enough time to get reset up, and Espeon sends that one back across. Just getting dunk after dunk. He finally whiffs on that one. Back pass from Corrupted. We'll put this onto the backboard. Classics is up, but it's not going to happen as they push it over to the side. 1:51 left to go. Deception still looking to tie up this game.
Even with how good these guys are, it's so difficult to predict it off that back wall. Sometimes it hits that angle perfectly and just kills straight down yet again.
Yep.
But not able to get, that bump was so crucial, just not enough.
Pluto does finally come in to finish it off, but like you said, look at that drop straight down. Vince couldn't clear it away. Bell able to bump away Classics, but Pluto in to finish it on the final rotation. That's why rotations are so important. It's got Genesis back up by 2. With 1:37 left to go. We'll see if Deception is able to respond. They're trying to push this one up into the offense. Corrupted G getting that one around, sets it up high. It's Vince there, drops it onto the backboard. Can he finish off his own shot? No, Pluto's able to find, just barely get in between the backboard and Vince to clear that one away. Corrupted G will pass this one back to Bell. Smart play to keep ball control in their hands, but the powerful touch from Bell will leave it back to Genesis. A great pass from Espeon. It might not even be a pass. It might finish itself off. No, Bell puts it over to the side. Some crazy saves have come through so far for Deception, but Pluto punishes twice in a row.
Just big mistakes coming out. So many people going up to make a save on that. Bell eventually does play it good off the corner of that post, but unfortunately for him, it bounces right back into the middle and makes a very easy shot for the rotations of Genesis.
Man, just pounding shot after shot onto the net. Genesis very quickly responding right now to game number 2. Looking to set to take the series, or to set to go up in the series, rather. And force match point with a minute remaining. They lead by 3. Corrupted G to Bell. The back pass is a play they've been going for a number of times. Ben sends that one over to the side. Corrupted G will get there just a moment before Espeon, but Espeon able to get a second touch. Sends it back to midfield. Now Vince in the corner. He's watching. He's trying to set this one up. See if Corrupted G can get up for this one. He puts it towards the box, but Classics will be able to clear it away.
Deception doing a really good job. That pass play was all 3 players involved back and forth. It's talking about a one-touch to put that goal in the net. But the way that they made that go up the field, back and forth, as soon as the player gets the ability to hit it, plays it off the wall, next player follows it up. And that pressure then eventually leading to a goal. It draws a couple defenders out, and then eventually able to swing through in front of the net. They're still in this, 34 seconds. They can do it if they keep playing like that.
We only need 2 more. Corrupted G was able to get a point on the board off of the whiff from Espion. Now Bell and Vince in their own half. Send that one up to midfield. Genesis will be looking just to maintain ball control, just keep it away from Deception and not let them take any shots. Classics plays this one up. Corrupted G taking a shot now. Ludo and Espion pushing this one around. Passing on the wall. Classics moves up and is able to fake out Bell there. And they've done what they needed to do. Just held on to ball control, kept Deception from making any shots. 5 seconds left. They got to score twice at this point. It's going to hit 1 second, and it's going to be game 3 for Genesis as they are able to bounce back from that game 2 loss. And we're on game 4, Lawler.
Yeah, bounce back indeed. They did a very good job of recognizing the mistakes. Give your players the ability to move out. You can still have a good game plan, and part of that game plan is sending in Classics first. You see it plenty of times where Pluto and Classics will work together, or Classics won't even touch the ball. He'll just move up on field. He'll completely go into the corner and deny some boost while Pluto's behind him, ready to pass it up. So good job in recognition, giving each other space, and then moving in. You saw what happened there. I mean, you're looking at 10 shots alone versus 6. Like,
yeah,
big flip.
Crazy pressure there from Genesis, who didn't look all that happy after that win. I don't know if it's the 3-0s or like the upsets or whatever, but like nobody's dancing, and let's dance, guys. It's the end of the game. I would love to see them dance a little bit more. But still, the assists coming through here on both sides. Only 1 unassisted goal on the side of Genesis. Otherwise, every goal in that game 3 was assisted. Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty solid, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good. I mean, you want your teammates to be involved. Like, even though it's been so unconventional, like you saw like some of those balls go in front of the net and then just whiffs back and forth, and then it like just settles there and like, okay, I'll take it. So like, even though it may not necessarily be like an assist in the sense of like, okay, great pass coming in, they're rotating very well. They're setting each other up, and they're putting themselves in the position to follow it up. And that's I mean, what we're really looking for.
Game number 4 will be set on Urban Central here. And Genesis has Deception on match point. Excited to see what they're going to be able to do here. But Deception looking to respond, see if they can force a game 5. Be Bell. Corrupted G. Moving up, looking to pass up to his teammate. Corrupted will actually carry this one all by himself up into the corner. Now Vincent Bell in the air.
Need to be careful sending 2 up.
Yeah, that was not a good situation. Especially when they both miss. If you're going to send 2 up, you have at least 1 make contact. And let's see Classics now. Send it back out to midfield. It's Vince who tries to take the shot, but it drops back at midfield. Classics with an opportunity, sends one towards the net. It goes just wide, but Espion in to finish. No, interrupted by Vince. Sends it over the side. Still scoreless in the first 30 seconds.
Crucial contents by Vince, pulling the inside as he's able to pinch that and making it go off the wall. It shoots back out quickly. Nobody on Genesis is able to react, but the way that they're playing, the way they're contesting, doing a good job by Corrupted. Despite being on their own side of the field, they're able to hold off for quite a while. The issue is generally the pressure like this comes in, and they get beat on it.
Have an opportunity there, Espion. Such solid solo plays. It's Corrupted G into Bell. Over to the side. Espion misses that one and lets Pluto take it. Trying to push it, just take it away from Corrupted G, but Pluto, man, oh my goodness, the pressure coming through for Deception. They had some good shots. Pluto dangerously carried it across his own goal. They almost got punished there. But now Classics and Espion looking to push it out of their own half. Back across field, 3:44 left to go. Still scoreless here.
Yeah, you saw Classics and Espion trying to work together there. And you see a little bit of them reverting to game 1 with the way that played out. But still, Classics able to get the touches, and that's part of the reason why they were able to play it upfield. Espion that entire time, immediately after that happened, went and rotated for boost anyway. So not exactly sure why he's up in the face anyway.
Classics waiting for the touch from Bell. Now Espion puts it into the corner. Bell and Corrupted G able to push that one around. Espion and Pluto both went up for that, but Espion got a very solid clear. Leaves it for Classics, who just waits out Corrupted G, and now he's playing smart. Bell able to get the tackle. Espion trying to keep that pressure on, puts it up at midfield. Now Corrupted G back over to the corner. Pluto gets it past him. It's Vince who will be able to pick up ball control and keep this pressure on for Deception. Coming up on halftime here, about 20 seconds before halftime. It's still scoreless. Both teams really slowing down. We've seen some very quick scoring in these games very early on. Right now, both teams still looking for that first point.
Well, it's good to see the change of pace as well. because it makes it very difficult for you to become predictable. As we see them moving upfield, you see someone kind of start pausing and making stutters. How are you supposed to know if they're going to hit it up really quick or if they're just going to pass it away? So glad to see them changing up the pace, as well as Deception starting to gain their footing. You see how quickly they're positioning and going up. It's just a couple mistakes when they send 2 up for aerials is making it difficult.
Classics and Pluto both on the wall. Espeon misses as well. Bell in to finish after 3 defenders miss. First blood will be going over to Deception.
Yeah, there's that pressure we're talking about. 2 up in the air. Unfortunate, but Vince still able to rotate in, and Bell then finishing off that. Still good pressure up in the corner from Corrupted. He's been doing a very good job so far of contesting after the initial hit.
2:14 left to go. First blood drawn by Deception. Espeon looking to drop this one into the box, gets it past 2 and drops it all by himself. Espeon with a great play, tying up the game.
Yeah, Espeon going up on the wall here, even though that was played in, still follows it up. He gets no touches after that. He just kind of shadows it, and that's fine, because if someone was to make that hit, he is perfectly behind that ball, and it's probably just going to get dunked and put right back in.
He catches the goalie in kind of this weird situation where the goalie's like, if he's going to touch it, I have to go up and block it, but if he doesn't touch it, then I need to hang out here on the ground, and they don't know what to do. Great heads-up play there by Espeon, tying up the game here with 1:56 left to go. Corrupted taking a shot towards the net, blocked by Pluto. Espeon sends it over to Classics. A 1-2 pass going just wide of the goal, and 3 defenders were back. So even if it had been on target, probably would not have gone in. With 1:43 left to go, Deception looking to push it back into the offense, see if they can get the lead back in this game. As Espeon wraps it around, Corrupted keeps it in the corner. Pluto able to send it up to midfield. Vince crosses it for Bell, who takes another shot, but going just wide. It'll be Pluto who's able to transition this one out. 50-50 with Corrupted G, puts it out to the middle. Bell drops it straight down, and Vince coming in to take a shot, gets the dunk underneath. Espeon Classics has to play it over to the side.
Yeah, very well played, and even though Bell didn't get that hit, he still was able to put it in a position where his teammates can follow it up. And that seems to be what Bell's doing. He's just kind of being a nuisance. Even though his shots may not be the most accurate, it still draws out a defender. It still forces someone to play up a position that they may not be more comfortable in. And still, Bell, despite being a sub, has played very well and made his presence known.
Espeon moving up. Tries to play this one around. Ball at midfield as Pluto takes a shot towards the net, drops in another one across the goal. And with 38 seconds left, it's still tied up. Bell able to get it past Classics. It'll be Espeon in the back, or Pluto actually rather, who watches and pushes this one up now. 30 seconds left, and he misses on the wall. Vince back and into the orange, takes a shot towards the net. Can they block it away? They get it just barely away from their net, and Espeon will carry this one around. 18 seconds remaining. Both teams still with an opportunity to score here. Corrupted G trying to carry it high. It pops out to midfield. Pluto will follow this one out of goal. Tries to get the dunk. It's Corrupted G who takes a shot. Espeon puts it over to the side. And Classics trying to get it away from his own net. Final seconds. Can he carry it? I put it on the ground, but he's going to go for the carry. He's going to try and win it right now. It's going to drop into midfield overtime.
I cannot point out how crucial that save is from Espeon in the way that he played it. He was the last man back, and he was going to pressure it initially, and then he realized Corrupted was taking an angle on him. So he parks the bus, waits patiently, and they're going to bring it all the way down. What a play from those two. What a pass.
The carry there from Classics. Pluto finishing it off, giving them the win here and the series in overtime.
Yeah, that pass was so good, played all the way over the top, and then cutting back inside of the defensive Deception to close it out. Genesis, way to sweep this back. Oh my gosh, I didn't even mean to do that.
Well, hey, at least they're giving us some dancing this time, a little bit. Pluto just, man, he just looks like a badass, just sitting there. Doesn't want to move. Cool guys don't move. I don't know.
I guess.
Man,
I don't even know what.
Seven. You don't like dancing? I like dancing.
I might like it, but I'm not good at it. Like,
I don't need you to be good at it. You just need to watch him do it because it's fun, you know. 7 shots from the side of Deception, 5 shots from the side of Genesis. Very even game, number 4 there, but Genesis is going to be able to pull that one off. Had 2 overtimes, maybe 3. I think there were 3 overtimes. Man, very, very close series. Leaf called that one correct.
Yeah, I mean, you saw how well they played back and forth, and good adjustments coming out from Genesis. You saw they felt a little bit more comfortable. There were still a couple gleaming mistakes, and they might have to fix those by the next series. But overall, they came back. They played well. They had some aggression, and still doing what they do. Some beautiful pass plays coming out from the air.
Absolutely. Both teams played very well, gave us our first non-3-0 match of the day, but Genesis is going to be able to pull off the win here in their first match that we've seen them play in week number 2. We'll be sending it back over to the analyst desk where I'm sure they have lots of lovely things to say about that match. Axel Toss, back to you.
Thank you, Wave Punk and Lawler. Genesis takes the 3-1, the not a sweep over Deception, and we had, what was it, 5 minutes and 56 seconds of overtime, I think.
Oh my goodness.
And was that game
I think
one?
that's RLCS record.
Pretty sure.
Might be.
I think that's a record.
That's awesome. But cool to see that after all the sweeps. Let's take a look at the Mobile One high-performance replay from that matchup to see exactly how Genesis got it done.
Yeah, we might see highlights only from game 1 because of how long it was.
Oh my goodness.
But again, look, Deception is getting those wide open nets. They're forcing a lot of offensive pressure and just waiting for rebounds and then getting some plays. And then Espeon coming up big with 38 seconds left, tying that game right there.
I think for me, one of the MVPs of it, the whole tournament, was Pluto. Pluto's getting such smart touches everywhere in this, just even from blocks to that bodyguard one. I think we'll see at some point in here. Just overall, Pluto's so good.
Yeah, I thought this whole series was a little sketchy, I think, by all the players. It wasn't as smooth as I think Genesis wanted. A little bit of some weird plays like Classics, game 1, a lot of whiffs coming in. But then Classics like coming up big with the overtime goal, and then both overtime goals, actually, or the overtime pass leads. And the Espeon here, this play is great because he's shadowing behind the ball, like Lawler said, to prevent the save where he could just dunk over them. So it's a really hard play for the defender to save there.
I think we just saw there too is like Deception. It's not like they didn't have opportunities. It's just they just couldn't put them in when they needed to. And even on the other side, as you said, there was a lot of whiffs coming out from Genesis as well. Like overall, sloppy here and there. Could have seen more goals, and I think that's why we saw that insanely long overtime. It's just there were opportunities there. They just weren't going into the net.
Well, I feel like it's a bit of a testament to how closely even these teams are. I mean, I think we had at least 2 overtimes, right? And the score disparities weren't huge by any stretch of the imagination. Genesis and Deception playing each other very close. Does this give us a better indicator of where these teams, where they fit within the scheme of the entire North American region?
I think Genesis could look better, I think. Like, I think usually they look a little bit better than this. I want to see them next against Kings of Urban, see where it resides. But Deception has been playing well. Like, we weren't sure like if they would be part of the conversation for top 6 at the start of this, and they're definitely showing that they're here to play. But again, it's closing out those games. They had 2 overtimes that they didn't win. But of course, they had the sweep last series. But they've had some hard times trying to close out a lot of these games.
It's kind of rough to tell too. I mean, week 2. I mean, we saw Take 3 do so well last time, and then just get dominated this time around. So it's hard to tell at this point watching them. But you're right. Deception has found an identity. I think their team plays are just next level. You don't have to have the most or the best mechanics in the game if you're going to play like a team like that.
Yeah, I remember Deception coming down from being down 4-0 to win 5-4 in the series last time. So seeing lots of crazy stuff here today in the Rocket League Championship Series, where we are covering week 2 of North American play. Again, it's all about getting to the top 6. A lot of matches happening between all these players. That being said, I think it's about time to scroll on into the next match. It's going to be Kings of Urban versus Genesis. We just saw Genesis, again, take down Deception there. Can they continue their winning ways as they have yet to lose in the Rocket League Championship Series? We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with Genesis versus Kings of Urban. Don't go anywhere.